Hi, down from Eflowtion here, and welcome to an INFJ Chat on the simplicity of life and the overcomplication that we like to make it as humans. In a sense of, to tie it into an INFJ Chat, using an INFJ myself as an example. Now, there's a movie that I want to reference. It's purely a reference. I'm not saying I'm emotionally invested in the movie. It's merely just, it was the only sort of thing I could actually relate to for me to relate to yourself, how to explain one way of how an INFJ sort of knows something's a bit of amiss with a person. Something is not quite adding up, or is off balance, or is not quite in harmony with how they're presenting themselves. And a presentation of self is a persona, it's a mask. So that's why someone like myself kind of has, I don't want to say an ability, because it makes it sound like, something magical or something, that someone else doesn't have. But I just say probably a naturalness to actually see beyond, which is the mask. Now, the reference point that I was referring to is an opening scene from the movie Red Dragon, which is part of the Hannibal Lecter series. Once again, I'm not attaching myself to merely a reference point, a relation point for yourself. So the opening scene is where there's a big orchestra playing. There's an individual flutist in that orchestra who keeps missing the notes, is a bit off key. And from memory, I think the camera zooms in, and sitting in the audience, sort of observing this, is Hannibal Lecter himself. And he's noticing the little mix of note, the little not quite in sync with the rest of the harmony, and even the look of, I guess, it's actually a strong word to use, but self-disgust, or just not feeling good within himself, the actual flutist, that because he's aware that he's missing the note. It's just he's doing his best to actually to be in sync with everyone else. But unfortunately, we have Hannibal Lecter in the crowd noticing this little offness, this little out of tuneness, this little not in harmony with the rest of the symphony. And I would like to think that if it was an INFJ sitting in the crowd, depending on the INFJ, there have been some notorious INFJs, but depending on the INFJ in the crowd, he would probably more want to maybe later address this with the flutist and just more want to help in a way. And I guess it's up to the flutist to is wanting to help. Fortunately, it's Hannibal Lecter. He probably ended up as a hamburger or some form of edible, which kind of differs from my own value system. I mean, I'm vegetarian, by the way, so there we go. But how I want to relate this to how that actually plays into how everything in life is a big symphony. And when you look at a symphony, its size, its mass, it's kind of like a brain, a big brain. And with an INFJ, when people present themselves, I use that word present, is that sometimes there's always that little thing that seems off. Whether it's in what they say, their body language, but there is a rhythm to human behavior. It does have its own rhythm to it. I mean, they even looked at I think based on Sigmund Freud, who quite a character himself, group psychology, even like with numbers, what was it, the Jonathan Nash sort of thing, I'm not good with the mathematical terms, but where they were trying to predict human behavior sort of thing. But for me to relate how I actually see beyond, I guess, what we would say our persona is in the sense of something is out of sync in the person. Something is not adding up. Something is not quite right. Something is not quite in harmony. And you could say, why would I actually spend my time doing that? I wish I could say, yeah, you're right, I should probably stop that. I can't, because it's part of my makeup, part of my orchestra, part of my subconscious. It's just something that I do. It's something that I don't consciously do purposely, and it's just something that is just there, which does put me at odds with the rest of the symphony of life, unfortunately. No one likes their sore points prodded at. Unfortunately, I'm not the Hannibal Lecter in the crowd. I'm the one trying to help. So, to tie it all in, that's the INFJ aspect, to tie it into how life, everything itself, is a symphony. It's a symphony of life. It's an energy form. If you're interested in getting yourself in sync, in harmony, in coherent states, then check out the breathwork that's in this video. I've probably referenced it a few times. And yeah, and if you're really interested, then book in for a session with Eflowtion, where I offer EFT, emotional freedom technique, and also same breath, both which will get you unstuck and get you back in sync. Till next time.